Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilbourn.
Well, that was another thing, by the way. Like this is the afternoon news. You can't be giving it that much enthusiasm. It's like people are tired. You'll startle them if you do it like this.
Bring it down.
Yes, bring it down. Be tired.
Hey guys, I'm Adam Wilbourn.
No, I hate it. Just do it normal.
I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture. He's Adam Clery from WhatCulture.
Too bloody right he is.
And we are here with your afternoon news.
Hashtag good afternoons.
Very nice.
Sometimes a thing appears, sometimes it doesn't. There's no consistency with it. Anyway, coming up for you today, we have an injury update on a big New Japan star.
A major WWE superstar could be returning to the ring very soon.
We have a big update for you on a New Japan building.
And WWE could be signing some new female officials. This is the news.
Hashtag good afternoons. Anyway, coming up for you first, we may have reported this morning in the morning news that, WWE were a little bit concerned about the ticket sales for the Madison Square Garden show, so they unveiled Stone Cold Steve Austin as the man to be doing the contract signing in an attempt to sort of pick those sales up a bit. And hey, who knows, they might even make the entire show about Stone Cold Steve Austin to really sell those last couple of tickets. It's a fairly routine story. Yeah. The story itself is actually the contract signing, not really the tickets. But then after we did that, it occurred to somebody in the office to actually check the state of the ticket sales. And hang on, I'll just double check what I've got here. Oh my God! Oh God, they've got thousands, literally thousands left. Loads and loads and loads of tickets left.
No, is this stomping grounds all over again?
As this graph is now illustrating, there are thousands upon thousands of tickets left for WWE in Madison Square Garden. This is currently, unless this picks up in the last week, which it may very well do with the Austin announcement and then further announcements to come, it may still pick up, it may still be okay, but as it currently stands, it is a humiliation for them, given other events that have happened recently in that very arena
that we've been to
with other wrestling promotions. And admittedly, it is only an episode of television. It's not like it's a big pay-per-view, but it's WWE in the Garden. It's meant to be their spiritual home.
Are they started doing the 2-for-1 offer yet?
Not yet. They've not started.
I guess this is what it's going to look like on the night. Ready? It's going to be. Welcome to Monday Night Raw! Yeah!
Well, Eva Marie won't be there. I'll tell you that much. Half a face or otherwise. Yeah. So.
Yikes.
This is, of course, not the first time we've reported on things like that with WWE. There's been various instances of television, usually SmackDown, sometimes Raw, where there are huge areas of the arena taped off, and where, like, you sort of take these stories and combine them with the record low viewing figures, and you keep thinking the company's in trouble, it's in trouble, it's in trouble. But then, of course, you have to remind yourself that the actual percentage of their revenue based on ticket sales, merchandise sales, our actual input as fans is now it's considered to be less than it used to be, and it's all now big television deals and just relationships with slightly less than despotic regimes.
I have an idea. You remember when we first reported the Saudi Arabia show and they were going to CGI in, I think, the Daniel Bryan match? Remember that? It was a mad news story I distinctly remember reporting. Just CGI in the crowd.
I think they might have to.
Just get the 2K crowd. Hey, the guy behind me can see. That's the usual.
Yeah, this is not overly good news. As I say, look, there's still a week to go. They might pick it up. The Austin announcements might finally shift those last few. But as it stands, can we just see that graph again? That's a week to go before a massive WWE show. That's dreadful.
Just say that Stone Cold's going to stun a Vince McMahon. Everyone will turn up then. Right, let's move on now.
Yeah, I'm just picking notes.
There we go. With news that Sin Cara.
Don't let them see you've got notes. What about the magic of television?
I'll be honest, I can't remember the last time I saw Sin Cara in the ring, so I need this. Sin Cara could be finally returning to the ring later on this month. He tweeted ahead of an event that's going to be taking place in El Paso, Texas at the end of September. He tweeted, he lives in El Paso, "It's time" on Twitter. He, of course, underwent knee surgery in mid-2018.
That's I'm sorry, not to like pick apart our own system here, but all he did was tweet "It's time." Mm-hmm. But I do that, and it just means I've got a Chinese on the way. Like, it doesn't mean he's going to wrestle again.
Yeah, maybe not.
He might do.
Hopefully, let's hope he does. Of course, he featured in the 50-man Battle Royal at Super Showdown, but that was the last we saw of him, and it was a very brief appearance.
Is Sin Cara's time in WWE done now? With Rey Mysterio coming back and Andrade, they don't like to overload on wrestlers of a particular in-ring style, shall we say. And while the three people I've just mentioned are, of course, all very different to Vince, they are just all Mexican dudes, aren't they? He probably doesn't understand why Andrade doesn't have a mask.
Yeah, or the fact... Sorry, you're in Lucha House Party, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. What?
So,
but yeah, hopefully he can get back in the ring and do some more trampoline into the ring thing that he used
botches.
to.
You mean botches? You mean botches? I mean, fair play to Sin Cara. It's not a bad wrestler. Nowhere near as bad as the reputation he gets. And the fact that I have just had a dig at him and brought up botches kind of implies, he's a low-hanging fruit for snide people like me, isn't he? Yeah. But he's still, I don't know where you fit another wrestler in WWE. Every time someone comes back from injury or there's a reported signing, you just look at it and go, do what with them?
WWE's that cupboard that you just open, push another wrestler and then shut it
Yeah,
again.
he is. Speaking of, well, exactly, and more to the point, been an injury update on Kenta in New Japan. Now, exactly, he was another one. As he's clearly proved in the G1, a sensationally talented, incredibly engaging, really inventive, unique wrestler who they simply had nothing for. They stuck him on 205 Live. They gave him no storylines. They gave him hardly any TV time. And lo and behold, he goes back to Japan and he's amazing. But, as you may remember, during Royal Quest, his match with Ishii, he looked... The report we've got here says that he looked loopy during that one, which I think is a fairly fair way of putting it. There is an injury update on him. Of course, he went and joined the Bullet Club, didn't he? Got all this critical acclaim. Did you see the injury at the time?
Oh, well, the one where he got knocked. Yeah, the whole. I mean, Andy Murray said he loved beef slapping, and I think he got far too much of a good thing there.
Well, yeah, he did not look okay at all. But the update on his injury is that he is fine.
Good.
Fine. They've cleared him pretty much immediately. He's going to be involved in New Japan's next run of shows. He'll need no time off for this whatsoever. But they took all the necessary precautions, looked at his noggin, checked all his brain and that, and apparently he's doing absolutely fine. So it may just be a case that it was a lot better than it actually looked in the ring because, oh God, did it look very, very, very bad.
I saw Meltzer tweeting about it recently, basically saying that he thought they should have just called it there because it's dangerous,
It's quite dangerous, the wrestler, yeah.
With his guns.
With his massive Dave Meltzer arms.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with him. I think if you can visually see, like we all could, that someone was in trouble there, just call it, because I'd rather that and have a disappointing match than risk future injury. And we all know what the repercussions of concussions.
The repercussions of concussions.
Let's move on.
Do your story now.
To an update on WWE Officials, because you may know, of course, Aubrey Edwards officiated the main event of All Out on Saturday night, and now WWE are apparently, according to Squared Circle Sirens, looking to hire more female officials. They currently have 21 active referees on their roster, including, of course, Mike Chioda, but only one female referee. They also reportedly tried to recently hire an indie women's wrestler to work as a referee, but she turned it down. No word on who that is, but yes, they are looking to follow in AEW's footsteps and get more female referees, which makes complete sense.
I mean, it's one of these stories, isn't it, where it's like, well, why do you have to do that because AEW have done it? Why haven't you just done it?
Exactly.
They've had
MMA's got female referees.
They've had literally years and years and years to understand that women can wrestle in the main event scene. I know it's not the first time they've done it. We've all seen Steph referee, for example. Trish Stratus had that one where her boobies were out. But yeah, like an actual female referee is just such a no-brainer. Like, it's good character work. It's something different as well. And besides, the vast majority of WWE's referees look weird. Like, we love Mike Chioda, but he looks pregnant. There's the orange guy. The guy he's like the inverse of you. He's got your hair for skin and your skin for hair.
Oh, yes, I know what you mean.
They're just get a woman.
Drake Wirtz, is that the one?
That's it, yeah.
He looks mahogany.
He does look mahogany. He's quite a weird guy. Then there's the one who got his son in. Nicholas was his son, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, John Cone.
Yeah, just stop with this. Just get a woman in. Anyway.
Chad Patton's got a lovely beard.
Chad Patton is fine. I'll give Chad Patton one. Right, so speaking of New Japan, which I was before we started talking about this, and in hindsight, we should have lined these news stories up better, so you immediately followed me with that one, then I could have taken the women's ref from. But hey, what I say, it's the afternoon news, isn't it? We've just got to do what we can.
Hang on.
We're absolutely shattered and we want to go home. It's the laid-back news. Anyway, right, so New Japan did Royal Quest this week, didn't they? You can put the screen there if you want, Chris. New Japan did Royal Quest this week, which means things are heating up for New Japan. Boom. In the United Kingdom, as I see, not just them, Ring of Honor, loads of people that come over now because those UK crowds are just the hottest goddamn wrestling audiences on the planet. No ads, please, from American viewers. So what they're thinking about doing is, because New Japan rely quite heavily on the Los Angeles dojo for new graduates and whatnot, why not just set up a new dojo in the United Kingdom?
Yes!
Isn't that good news? Nothing set in stone yet, apparently, but according to, I want to get this right, Tokyo Sports further report on the story, it looks like they're planning on doing it. They really want to get a London dojo in place. Or is it London? Have I made that bit up? I think I might have made that bit up. Somewhere in the UK anyway. Just to get the great and the good of the UK wrestling scene, get them together, see who can get to young lion level and progress through into New Japan.
That is great news, and it's long awaited. We've been a big proponent of British wrestling for quite some time now, there's been speculation about what the impact WWE and NXT UK was going to have on British wrestling and what have you, but this can only be beneficial.
The talent's there. The talent has always been there. I think as we said, this massive big golden boom period of British professional wrestling is maybe starting to taper off a bit now, so it's kind of interesting to see what the legacy of it will all be if NXT UK is part of that. Absolutely fantastic. They put on, in my opinion, almost the best show of the weekend.
Yeah.
Is it better than All Out NXT UK? It's close. Either way,
main event was probably better.
Oh yeah, the best main event by a mile. Either way, it's close, and there are so many British wrestlers still not signed to WWE who could do. Look, we've just seen Martin Kirby go over to, I think, is it Dragon Gate?
Yeah,
he's
great stuff.
been absolutely sensational over there. But also just have Rampage be the instructor. The man was literally born to run the New Japan dojo in the UK.
Very good shout, that. Right, let's move on to your Twitter questions.
Thanks, I was in the business, don't you know?
WhatCulture WWE. Of course, you want to tweet us Twitter questions. First question today comes from Tydo.
Mr. and Mrs. Doe, a son, Ty.
Yep. Who says, feelings on the Fiend grabbing the world title, running through opponents, and then creating a huge match with the returning Demon and the Fiend. #dream match. Now, of course, this morning you said not too sure about the Fiend being immediately put into the title picture at Hell in a Cell. But if this was the payoff...
Right, read that back, but take every mention of the title out of it.
Feelings on the Fiend grabbing the... running through opponents and then creating...
Did I give it the grabbing bit?
Okay. Feelings on the Fiend running through opponents and then creating a huge match with the returning Demon.
There you go. That's literally all you have to do. And then maybe have him win that feud. If you want to set Finn Balor up as the future title challenger, have him win that feud. If you don't, if you want to keep the Fiend hot to maybe use him somewhere down the line, do that. You do not need to put the belt on him this soon or even have him in the picture. You need to have him really well established over months and months and months and have a big catalogue of opponents he steamrolled through before you can genuinely build what would end up being one of the most interesting WWE Championship matches in a goddamn generation, because they've never had anything that hot. You have to keep that heat bubbling over for a little while. Don't blow it all off now, because ultimately the Universal Championship, if you're on Raw, should be the greatest possible prize.
Yeah.
Once you've gone there, you have to go down afterwards. Even if it's just... Like, look at Rollins. Even if it's just temporary, you have to go down from there and get back up. Why would you put the best thing you've got right at the top straight away when you can use him to bubble it and you build everybody up with him as he goes? So easy to book WWE. So easy to book it.
Let's move on to our second question.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
It's from Me the 6, You the 9.
To Mr. and Mrs. You the 9, a son, Me the 6.
Who says, which recent storyline / tease are you most upset that WWE walked away from? Personally, I'm disappointed that they dropped the Who is the Father angle on Mike and Maria.
No, not that one. It's what's in Vince's lockbox when Shane came back. That's... Like, I thought it was going to be absolutely fascinating. That, like, oh, maybe one of the children is illegitimate. Maybe, I don't know, maybe his grapefruits are in there or something daft. And they dropped it. They just had Shane wrestle The Undertaker for control of WWE, and he lost, so Vince gave him control anyway.
I remember that.
That is...
Do you know what mine was? My one was, I feel like this is just going to be completely forgotten about. Remember when Daniel Bryan, like 4 weeks ago, was like, I've got a big announcement, everyone's like, oh my God, is he going to retire? What's wrong with him?
Yeah.
And then he just went, can't
change
be
your mind.
asked.
Emelina.
Oh,
You've seen the creation of Emelina. Now, something, bye. That was literally it, wasn't it?
That's basically it.
They just love dropping storylines. They love writing something and having no idea what to do with it.
Final question today comes from John Wright.
To Mr. and Mrs. On Wright, a son, Joe.
Why did WWE do away with Superstars and Wrestling Challenge?
God.
Hello, Adam Nicholas.
You got some news?
No, I just want to come and say bye.
Oh, see you later,
Bye,
mate. See you later, Nicholas.
Why did they do away with Superstars and Wrestling Challenge, along with segments like the Weekend Update or sets like the Brother Love Show, Piper's Pit, and the Barber Shop?
Because we came along and absolutely wiped the floor with them in terms of wrestling reportage.
It's annoying though, because I did like, I feel like the Cutting Edge and the KO show, they just
Talking smack?
Yeah.
I'll tell you why I did away with them, right? Because they're obviously very script heavy in terms of these are. If you think about somebody's got a 20-minute segment on Raw and it's a wrestling match, you might have 30 seconds beforehand or a few minutes afterwards to cut a promo. These segments, if they're 15, 20 minutes, are purely scripted, and WWE like to script the performers to within an inch of their lives, and thus they're very difficult to do. It's why like Jericho got the highlight reel, because Jericho was immensely trusted as a steady hand on the mic. He knows WWE style inside now.
Yeah.
Miz got Miz TV because he's the same. He'd always been in the company. He knows precisely how they want these segments to run. Whereas like, what are you going to do? Give an indie darling or an internet sensation 20 minutes to say what he wants on WWE? Absolutely not. The reason they do away with them is because they're too much work.
Didn't we have the electric chair with Sami Zayn recently? And he said, "Why don't you ask me about AEW?" And they went, "Yeah, we won't be doing that."
And that literally never happened again.
Yeah, that was it.
There you go.
Let's move on to today's and final. Just something nice.
You said this was going to be lovely, right? But the way you said it was going to be lovely, you had a little glint in your eye like it's a picture of a vagina.
No, it is just a nice thing. It's from Shields
vagina's
Children.
a nice thing.
Don't get me in trouble. Shields Children.
Don't get me started on how
Says-
nice vaginas are.
has tweeted this to us saying, "This isn't a question, but I just have the fattest heart eyes for you all. So,
Aww.
hashtag this is news." And look, they've made this lovely board
I always spelled my name right.
with WhatCulture on. Please tell me they spelled your name right.
Yes,
I love
thank
that they
you.
Spelled your name right, spelled like my name right, spelled Jules, Andy, Adam, Nicholas, and then Simon Miller just gets Simon M. So screw you, Si. Unlucky, but thank you so much. That's lovely.
Suck my ass, Simon Miller.
Stop. Is that your new catchphrase?
Yeah, because people are like, oh my god, you should have silver up and a half a
Because you
down.
broke the ups and downs system.
Suck my ass.
Let us know your thoughts on that and all
Let
of
us know your
today's-
thoughts on sucking my ass in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can do the rest. Go on, this is your bit.
Plus, subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. Follow us on Twitter as well, at WhatCulture WWE. You can follow him at...
Adam Clery, Clery, just like it is on the whiteboard.
You can follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all, as I said, at WhatCulture WWE. This has been the After News.
Hashtag good afternoon. Sometimes appears.
Thank you very much for watching. We will see you soon.